What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Malikasflex with your girl Malika, aka Mali, aka Malibu, whatever you want to call me. It's me. This week, I am speaking once more to my international teachers. If you wish to teach in the United States, here are 5 interview questions that will be sure to help you land that job. Stay tuned. Compiled a list of questions based on my own experience, based on the experience of my friends and family members who are here. The 5 most common interview questions that principals like to ask during these interviews. And if you can respond to these questions well, you are sure to get the job. Within this video, what I want you to do is to pause at different sections and just see how well you could respond to some of these questions. I will also be giving tips in between, telling you what they would want to hear and what they would not want to hear. So let's get started. Number 1, of all the countries in the world, why do you want to teach in the US? How would you respond to this question? And I know that this question sounds so cliche, like it's obvious that they're going to ask this question and you're thinking, maybe they won't bother to ask that question. But trust, it is a question that they want to know. Of course, in your mind, you're like, hello, I want to make more dinero, pero you cannot say that, okay? You cannot say that in the people them interview. You have to think of a better response than the money. You can always take it with a cultural approach, just to say that, okay, I think I have worked in my country, I have learned the rigors of my country, and I think it's time to branch off and see what the rest of the world has to offer in terms of education, especially if you're coming on a J1 visa, where it's a cultural exchange visa. You can say, I believe that what I have learned in my country will be valuable in your country, and you can list some things. And I also believe that when I'm done here, or when I'm through here, I will be able to bring back to my country the things that I have learned and further build my country. You can take that approach. Question number 2. Describe a lesson that you have taught where you believe everything went extremely well. Now, it is in the heat of this moment where, even though you are an excellent teacher and you have taught many excellent lessons, that you will forget one of the many, right? So think of one from now. Think of one that really stands out to you, something that you think these interviewers will be impressed with, and give them that response. And even as I'm sharing this question right now, one is not even coming to mind because there's so many that I've done in the past. And I'm pretty sure that if I should get this question right now, it would be good to have thought about that answer beforehand. Question number 3. What is your greatest weakness? I know that we are used to being asked, what is your greatest strength as a teacher? But it shows humility when you are able to admit your faults and your weaknesses. My advice to you is don't go too deep. Do not go too deep. Don't say, oh, I'm always late, or I have a time management problem. That's too honest, baby, okay? Don't do that. Think of something quite simple and give that response. For example, you can say, well, perhaps I could reach out to parents more and have parents a little bit more involved. Something that is not so detrimental to your actual lessons and to, how well your students will perhaps learn. Yes, reaching out to parents is important. In some cases, it will affect how some students learn. But it's simple enough. It's admitting your fault, but not getting too deep, where they will say, oh my God, if this girl or this man is bad at time, managing his or her time, then this means that this person will be late for work, late with lesson plans, late with grades that should be submitted. Think of something extremely simple, right? There's no perfect teacher. We all have our little faults. Question numero cuatro. Why do you think it is important for US students to have an international teacher? Right off the bat, you know that this is a cultural question. In my interview, I think I said to them that the students would get to be more aware of different cultures, and this is important for their overall upbringing. They'll be able to have intelligent conversations when the time comes, and they won't be as surprised in certain situations. They'll know how to act appropriately when certain situations arise, and even if it does not relate to my specific culture, they will be more aware that there are different cultures around the world, and yada yada yada. I don't remember the whole thing, but yes. So yeah, question numero cinco, and this is the last question. I did tell you that there are only 5 wonderful questions to this video, and it is: describe your best classroom management strategy. Now, this question can be asked in so many different ways. When you do answer this question, I want you to think of one thing. You are going to the US to work. You will not be working in your own country. So things that may seem as a classroom management strategy in your country may not seem like a classroom management strategy in the US. For example, if you are coming to the US and they ask you this question, or you would like to go to the US and they ask you this question, do not say, my classroom management strategy is that I'll have students stand when they're speaking to me. That's not a strategy, actually. And that is very much culturally aligned with the Jamaican classroom, where students stand for the most part when they're speaking to teachers, or stand when a teacher enters the classroom. That does not happen in the US. Do your research on what the US classroom looks like. Look at videos online and see what strategy you think would be best for a United States classroom. For me, this was my answer, and it really originated from when I was doing my TEFL certificate, that's teaching English as a foreign language. When I was being certified, I read something that really resonated with me, and that is the answer that I gave in my interview. I said to the interviewers that I believe classroom management starts outside of the classroom, where you are building relationships with the students. And when students respect their teachers, classroom management will naturally fall into place. I said it in my interview. I believe it is true. And my interviewers were very much impressed with the response that I gave. Of course, you can give other answers, like rules that you would set. Some interviewers will ask directly for a rule, not necessarily the strategy that you use, but a rule that you would perhaps implement in your classroom to ensure that the class is well managed. Think about all those things and try to be smart about it. Ensure that it is culturally appropriate. Don't think about your country. Think about the United States and everything that you've heard about it and their system before, and align your answer with that. With that being said, I hope that this video was helpful. If you've made it this far to the video, please comment green in the comment section below. People will not know what you're talking about, but I will, and I will see you and I'll like it. Comment with the word green, and I said green because I'm wearing green right now. Yes. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to let me know in the comment section, and I will try to answer right there and then, or in another video. Thank you all for watching. Remember, it's your girl, Malika, aka Malibu, aka Mali. Whatever you want to call me, it's me. And this is Malika's Flex saying, peace out.